Christmas at Whitewall, and love was in the air. All over the school there were Christmas trees and cards and trimmings, and every break time we would queue up to snog Martin Roebuck under some mistletoe in the reference section of the library.
Christmas also saw the accumulation of Gail's interest in Mr. Nixon.
I love him.
You do not.
I do. I'm infatuated.
What's it feel like?
Oh, brilliant. I was on his table for Christmas dinner.
Yeah, but does he love you?
Dunno, but I'll find out at the Christmas dance.
Why? What are you going to do?
Snog him.
Ooh, you are not.
I'll need some Dutch courage, but I am.
I don't believe it.
Listen, I've got it all worked out. We go to the off licence, you go in and buy some cider.
Why me?
Then I'll bring some spring onions from home, we'll drink the cider, and then eat the spring onions.
Spring onions? What?
Because Doug and Mr. Hatton will be on the door of the Christmas dance, and Mrs. Parry says if anyone is suspected of drinking alcohol, they won't be allowed in. And I want to make sure I get in.
Are you sure Mr. Nixon's going to a dance?
Of course he is. I've asked him a dozen times. I've sent him 40 cards in the Christmas post.
Must have cost you a fortune.
Nah, my auntie works in the card shop. Anyway, it's the thought that counts.
So I went into the off-licence and bought 2 large bottles of cider.
Which we drank through a straw. And then we stuffed ourselves with spring onions.
Bloody hell, have you been eating spring onions?
That was Mr. Hatton's reaction as we entered the disco.
Brilliant. We're in. I told you it'd work. I'm slightly merry, but not out of control.
I feel sick. I hate onions.
Salty.
Yeah?
Have you seen Mr. Nixon?
No. Is he coming? Brilliant.
Is he here yet?
Can you smell spring onions?
Nico hadn't arrived. He was in the pub with the rest of the staff, and he was sat very near Miss Jackie Prime. Meanwhile, down at the disco, Mr. Dean was doing Jimmy Savile impersonations and playing records that were 3 years out of date.
Yes, indeedy. This is the sound of the Human League. Don't you want me, baby?
Oh shit, look out, Oggy mocks him.
Got you.
Oh hey, great.
Give us a kiss then.
Haven't you got any mistletoe?
I don't need no mistletoe. Why didn't you come to my party? You owe me one.
Later, yeah? Maybe later. I dashed away from Oggy, leaving him wondering what perfume smells like onions.
It's a fact of life that all teachers dance like retards. They dance like they're out of a music documentary. There must be overweight of knowledge in their heads. Makes them think they're sitting in the back of an old Fort Cortina.
Now then, what have we got here? Uncle Ted, a bit of old boogie-woogie.
Oggy? There'd been some trouble in the toilets. Oggy Moxon had hit Kev Jones for nothing.
Kev said that Oggy hit him because he fancied me. Oggy tried to get me to dance, but both times I left him and went to the toilets.
Simon Patterson, very smart. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Where's Salty?
Think he's dancing. Girls in the loo. Have you been drinking, sir?
Oh, only a few pints. I'm in my new car.
Yeah, you need a new car when you're drinking and driving.
The school dance had all the seriousness of a big disco, and all the 15 and 16-year-olds looked stunning done up to the nines, and only Mr. Moorcroft, head of RE, seemed to not be impressed by the gyrating bottoms and boobs. At 10:30, when things seemed like they were bubbling, Deanie played the last record, a smoocher. Gail Saunders appeared in my arms, and suddenly my face was confronted by the strong smell of onions.
It was fantastic.
I felt rather awkward. I didn't know how to hold Gail or where to put my hands.
Mrs. Parry looked on. She felt a mixture of jealousy and condemnation. But it wasn't unknown for students to dance with teachers. After all, we were treated like young adults here at Whitewall.
Doug the caretaker cleared the dance floor in a few minutes, and just as I was going to kiss Mr. Nixon, he turned his head to wish Doug...
Merry Christmas, Doug.
Oggy Moxon had seen Gail and Nico dancing, but left the hall in silence.
Mr. Nixon said that he'd give me a lift down home. Salty and Hobby decided to walk it home and maybe get a kebab.
I got into my car, an A-Reg Escort, and Gail jumped in beside me. And before I knew it, into the back jumped Oggy Moxon.
Oh yeah? What's all this then? A bit of slap and tickle to drama teacher Gail. I thought all drama wallers were puffballs.
Will you get out, Oggy?
Will you get out? No, I will not.
Get out.
No, let's go for a ride, yeah? Drop me down home, will ya?
Get out.
Make me.
Get out.
Make me.
I shan't say it again.
I shan't say it again. Come on, sir. Make me get out.
This is my car. I am not in school hours. Now get out.
Come on, Oggy, it's not fair.
What's not fair? You want me to go so you can have Mr. Nixon all to yourself?
I'm going to get Mrs. Parry.
What the fuck is she going to do about it?
Will you get bloody out?
You make me.
Huh?
Oggy!
You broke my nose. You bastard.
Mr. Nixon?
Bastard. There was blood everywhere.
I was screaming, Nixon was
A
shaking.
few members of staff came running from the school.
Oggy staggered away from the car. I'll nobby or get you. Wait till next term, Nixon. I'll nobby or hammer you. And he was off into the darkness. It was like a film. Everyone was shouting and trying to calm things. And in the distance you could hear Oggy Moxon saying, I'm going to do you, Nixon. I'm going to do you.
As we stood, a boy ran past us and jumped into his father's car, and a voice bellowed out.
Stop running, Simon Patterson.
Morning, Jeff.
Morning, Mrs. Parry.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Had a nice time.
Lovely, thanks. We went away.
So did we.
We stayed at home.
You'll never guess what.
Oh, go on.
Jackie Prime got married to Colin Short, head of PE at St George's. Did it over Christmas.
I didn't know.
Neither did I.
What was that?
Prime Reed Short. He's a hunk of a fella. Oh, man.
Oh. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
You did what, Mr. Nixon?
I, headbutted him in the face.
If he decides to report this or go to the police, I'm afraid you're for the high jump.
But Oggy Moxon didn't report the incident to either his dad or the police, but he told Nobby, and Nobby said that he would fix Nixon.
During every lesson, I had one eye on the main entrance in case Oggy's brother appeared. And I wondered how many staff had said to how many kids, bring your dad up. And then wondered all day if they would.
3 or 4 days went by. Nothing happened. Oggy's brother didn't appear and many teachers winked at Mr. Nixon as if to say, nice one.
Most of my nights were spent indoors marking, going over the same mistakes and the same right answers. I was turning into a monk. I lived close to the school, so I couldn't go to the local pub as it was full of sixth forms. I didn't know whether to be all mates with them or tell the landlord that they were underage. So I stayed in and listened to Janice Ian and Dire Straits and waited to see if I'd get an interview at St George's.